All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to H.E. Markham Park. Chuck Zach with a three-man crew today. Jay Davis and the coughing Matt Fry.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's a fine right there.
As we come at you live on a make-up game from a rainy Tuesday in Texarkana. This was a game that was highly anticipated earlier this week. Couldn't play because of, obviously, monsoon conditions in town. And instead, we get a Chamber of Commerce perfect-looking Saturday. It's 80 degrees here at H.E. Markham Park. We got a little wind blowing out to left field, and it's the Hawks, it's the Leopards. What's better than this for a Saturday afternoon, guys?
Absolutely beautiful day for some baseball out here, and you talk about the wind. You probably hear a little bit of that in the background as we go through today's broadcast. It is a little windy. Not sure we'll see too many things hit out of right field today, Chuck.
I would think not. I would think it's going to be hard to hit balls out of anywhere, but you know what? The Hawks have home run prowess, and I'm never going to say never when you look at guys like Cade Martin and Ty Boozer, who hit one out last night as well.
Yeah, last night ended the game, walk-off 10-run rule hit, and that one just seemed to carry. It went in the air, and I thought it was going to be a routine fly out to center field, and the ball just continued to carry and go out from there. Hunter Rose hit one last night as well over the right field wall. It actually went over the state champion sign out there at right field at Hawk Stadium.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, there's actually been 5 different Hawks hit home runs, and so with the win today, I don't know if we will see that. But I think this field's a little bit bigger than Hawk Field, but I'm excited to see this game. I've been looking forward. I circled about 6 baseball games this year, and this was definitely the third of the LEPG series, and glad to be here. I could get used to high school baseball on Saturday.
Anytime. Well, if you're talking about home runs and you're a Leopard fan, this is the guy you don't want to see and talk about, Brenton Clark, who hit a 2-run homer against the Leopards at Hawk Field last month, a game that ended up being an 8-inning 3-2 decision. And so leading things off, second baseman Brenton Clark for Pleasant Grove. Here's the lineup for the Hawks. Jared Halter is going to bat second. He's the shortstop. Third baseman Spencer Browning hitting in the number 3 spot. Cade Martin, the catcher, will bat fourth. It'll be Hunter Rose hitting fifth in center field. Right fielder Landon West batting sixth. Buck Anderson, the DH, hitting seventh. Jace Elrod, the left fielder, hitting eighth. And Ty Boozer is hitting ninth at first base. And we'll lead things off with a Brenton Clark hard hit single into right field, and we're off and running.
Clark looked at the first 2 strikes and then just put that one right over the first baseman's head, and the Hawks have someone on the base paths to get this thing kicked off here in the first.
Well, Matt and I have had the opportunity to take advantage of some food that we had in front of us today from Tamales Mexican Restaurant. They're a new sponsor of Texarkana Game Day. And Matt, what do you think so far?
Well, it's food, and it's lunchtime, and it's fantastic. Tamales, obviously good Mexican food, and throw some chips down in front of a fat man, and he's going to be happy.
Who's going to argue about food?
There you go.
All right, stepping in now, Jared Halter. Halter hitting from the right side as he faces Cam Gamble, a Leopards starter today, and we'll go through the Leopard defense after the pitch, which misses for ball 1. For Liberty-Eylau today, Maddox Moore's at first, Tristan Howe is at second, W.T. Jones is at short, Britton Pipes at third. In the outfield, a little change. Zyvan Banks is in left field today. Colin Evans is in center. Hagen Powers in right. So we've shifted all 3 outfielders and added Zyvan to the lineup behind the plate and making that good stop. Dylan Neighbors, and on the hill, Texas High transfer Cam Gamble.
And Gamble came in at the end of the PGLE game last time, and I was really impressed with his command out there on the mound, and has kind of a different delivery. And
well, this certainly started different than that game did. Tristan Howe had a no-hitter through 5 innings, and here the first man up gets a hit, and it really was self-defense for Jared Halter on a bunt attempt that came riding in on him, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the Hawks shortstop.
Yeah, that one there maybe prevented some unnecessary dental work, because that was coming straight at him.
If you're a dentist, there's no such thing as unnecessary dental work.
Maybe so. Maybe so. That's how you get a sponsor on the Gamecast there.
And that's how they get a new garage.
Yeah, Gamble's doing a good job keeping Clark on first.
Pitch comes in high, and that one does get him. He's got that protective gear on the elbow, and it looked like it got that hardware. So Halter gets on with a hit batter. Clark advances down to second, and here comes Spencer Browning, who drove in the game-winning run for PG in that 3-2 win over at Hawk Field.
Spencer hitting .338 on the season, and wanting to be able to keep that going and take advantage of having a couple of Hawks out there on the base paths and see if Pleasant Grove can get on the board early in this one.
Hawks on the middle of a, 14-game winning streak. They're 10-0 in district, 16-7-1 overall. Liberty-Eilau's 2 games back at 8-2. They're 18-6. Pitch comes in a little bit high. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Both of them had 10-run wins yesterday.
Yep.
10-0 for Pleasant Grove over Paris, 11-0 for Liberty-Eylau over Sulphur Springs last night.
Yeah, win by the Leopards tonight is pretty much going to lock up second place for them in district, so that way they can keep Paris in that 3rd spot.
A little bunt shown, but the pitch misses outside by Gamble, who early on a little uncharacteristic control issues. Normally he's much more around the plate. He's a little outside of it right now, and Zach Fowler sees the same thing, and the Leopards coach taking a stroll out to the mound.
Maybe just talk to his pitcher and try to get him back focused. You see Browning showing bunt a couple of times, and that's something you'll see from both of these coaches, I think, is they both like to have guys moving around the base paths and get bunts involved for sure.
This is an intriguing conversation. You got a pitcher who at the moment's not throwing strikes, but you also got a couple of base runners on and you've shown bunt. So there's 2 purposes. 1, I'm going to remind my defense where I want to go. And 2, quickly, I'm just going to say to Cam, let's get that in there. Let's throw some strikes.
Yeah, one of the matchups that we're looking at tonight is going to be these coaches and their, tactics and strategy. So it's Liberty-Eilau's got a phenomenal coach in Mr. Fowler.
Of course, Riley Fincher on the other side, not bad himself. He's coaching over at the 3rd base box for PG today. Bunt shown again, and again, pitch comes in high. And the count now is 3 balls and no strikes. Joe Perlman coaching for Pleasant Grove down at first base. Here at Markham, we go 325 down the lines, 360 to the power alley, 370 in what's now the Vogue, the elevating center field wall. Bunt shown at 3-0, but that was a take all the way bunt, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Cade Martin looking on intently, waiting for his chance to face Gamble.
Infield set a double play depth. There's the 3-1. This one lifted and playable. It's going to be Tristan Howe from second base. That'll take a couple of steps in, and there's the first out of the ball game as Browning pops up to Tristan Howe at second base, and we've got 1 away, and here comes the aforementioned Cade Martin.
When that ball went into the air, it died almost immediately. Howe had to come in from second base all the way into the infield grass nearly to be able to catch that one, and so if you get anything up in this wind, it is not going to travel very far.
And the reality is we're going to have to wait about talking about the depth of balls hitting the air. Well, it looks off the bat like it may be flying high and deep. It may be coming back toward us. All right, here's the number 4 hitter now, catcher Cade Martin. Gamble from the full windup. That one's in there for a strike, and he's finally ahead in a count. It's no balls and 1 strike to the Hawks catcher.
Martin hitting .356 on the season with 2 homers and 20 RBIs.
I saw him before the game. I just am blown away how huge he is. He's just a big kid. No balls and 1 strike. Breaking ball that didn't quite come all the way back in. He had Martin flinching, but he didn't catch the inside part of the plate, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, with the runner on second, Liberty-Eylau doing what they can to keep him on second. So Cade Martin's got a lot of room on that left side of the infield.
And they're not playing third base back. Brenton Pipes even with the bag and thinking there may still be a bunt. Instead, this one spanked the center, going back and still going back. Colin Evans, and he can't handle it. Off the heel of the glove. That's going to allow the runners to all move up, and we'll have bases loaded. They had to wait up on it because it looked like Evans was going to catch that ball. Now, we said at the top of this, we're shifting guys around. Normally it's Hagen Power that's in center field, not Colin Evans. They made the shift today, and it's the first time this year Colin's been in center since district play has started, and he had problems with the ball and the wind, and that'll fall in for an error.
Yeah, and it looked like right at the end he had to try to adjust quickly to get under it and just outside of his glove, and so now the Hawks with bases loaded for Hunter Rose, who homered in last night's ballgame.
Gamble's going to have to get an extra out in this inning. Here comes the pitch. This one fouled out of play third base side for strike 1.
Rose part of this group of sophomores that Pleasant Grove has. Had several of those guys that played varsity last year as freshmen. And
we'll see another one on the mound when Walker Wright takes the mound. No balls and 1 strike. Here's Gamble. A little ball fading away from Rose, but misses outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Gamble doesn't have a dominating fastball. He changes speeds. He's good at location, but he's not going to blow anybody away with heat. Here's the 1-1, and that one's slapped foul just wide of Riley Fincher. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Maybe Hunter waited till right at the last minute to decide to swing on that one.
Of course, Rose, when we saw him at Pleasant Grove a month ago, had just gotten into the lineup after a broken hand, I believe, is what he had suffered.
Yeah, they're on his pitching hand. He did throw against Pittsburgh.
And he goes down on strikes, kind of waving at one. Looked like it was falling out of the strike zone. So first strikeout for Cam Gamble, and with bases loaded and 2 away, strolled into the plate is Landon West, the right fielder.
Big opportunity for the Leopards here to get out of this inning without any damage. Of course, Landon West trying to get a payoff here for the Hawks.
Number 6 man in the lineup. All right, bases loaded with Hawks, 2 away, top of the first inning. We are scoreless. Gamble has been pitching full windup, goes again, breaking ball that, tell you what, West was just under it. He had timed it right, just got a little bit underneath it and fouled it straight back to the camera back here.
Big swing there from West. He trying to score 5 runs with 1 swing, maybe.
No balls and 1 strike. Evans shading him off a little bit to the right field side in center field. Zyvan Banks back deep and left. Hagen Power, you would think, may even come in another step or 2 the way the wind's pushing the ball back at him. Here's the pitch. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, this is a pretty pivotal at bat early in this game.
Yep.
Leopards get out of bases loaded and 1 away with no damage. It's huge. Hawks score a few on this. It's huge.
In these matchups, you can kind of feel the tension the entire game. Everything seems, much bigger. I think just because of the familiarity, and got kids that went to both schools and now at other schools.
2 balls and 1 strike. That one's in there, 2-2. Well, it's payoff time for Landon West with 2 strikes now. Cam Gamble trying to scratch back into this. Gave up a hit a batter, and had his center fielder drop a fly ball. Loads up the bases. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Big pitch here.
Missed a little wide. Breaking ball that just came a little bit outside to the right-handed hitter. Now it's everybody running.
Neighbors made sure his defense knew their roles.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, and we're going to do it again as he fouls it out of play first base side. Both teams in the pinstripes today. Hawks in their gray pinstripes with the gray uniform with the black pinstripes. Leopards in the white uniforms with the red pinstripes. I asked Riley Fincher before the game, what about those old Astro-looking uniforms? He said he hated those. They all went in the trash.
Said we're out of that game.
Yeah. 3-2 pitch. Missed ball 4 outside, and the Hawks will walk in the first run of the game as Brenton Clark trots in from third, and PG goes up 1-0.
So that'll bring up the DH Buck Anderson, hitting in place of Walker Wright, the pitcher.
And Brenton Clark may have seen something out there as far as maybe a tail on Gamble, because he spent some time giving Buck Anderson a little extra conversation there before his bat.
Gamble ready. Here's the pitch. Fouled out of play behind us for strike 1. So a single, a hit batter, an error, and a walk. It's a cafeteria plan of choices of what you want, how Hawks have gotten on base in this inning. No balls and 1 strike. Ground ball, it'll be to Jones. He's got it, gonna go to third, the closest out, the force out there, and it'll end the inning. But the Hawks strike first, 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error, and the bases left loaded. We're through 1 half inning. Pleasant Grove 1, Liberty-Eylau coming to bat when we come back here on our joint broadcast between News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Make Tamales Mexican Kitchen your go-to spot for Tex-Mex that tastes like home. Family owned since 1992, serving Texarkana with love.
Ooh, Jay Davis, you made me hungry right there.
Yeah, I am. that's why the Bob's Dip's on my end of the table.
There you go.
I will share that.
All right, bottom half of the first. Here's the lineup for Liberty-Eylau as W.T. Jones steps to the plate. He'll lead things off playing shortstop. Tristan Howe, the second baseman, hitting second. Britton Pipes, the third baseman, hitting third. DH Eli Jarvis will bat fourth. It'll be Maddox Moore at first base in the 5 spot. Colin Evans in center hitting sixth. Batting seventh is Cam Gamble, the pitcher. Eighth, Dylan Neighbors, the catcher. And Zyvan Banks in left field will bat ninth. And on the mound for Pleasant Grove, lefty Walker Wright. Starts Jones off with a pitch that was called a strike, and then Jones fouls the next one off, so it's no balls and 2 strikes. Hawk lineup: Ty Boozer at first, Brenton Clark second, Jared Halter at short, Spencer Browning at third, Jace Elrod, Hunter Rose, and Landon West from left to right in the outfield. Behind the plate, Cade Martin, and of course the lefty sophomore Walker Wright. 4-1 record, 12 walks, 30 strikeouts, with a 2.44 earned run average coming into today, and he saw the Leopards the last time these two played.
Yep, and so I think it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up his game performance from last time, or maybe the Leopards saw some things that they can take into today's game.
In the game the last time these two played each other, Walker went 3 in the 3rd innings, gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, walked 1, struck out 1. Spencer Browning came in relief and finished it off and got the win. This one's a little chopper first base side. Going to be a hustle play for Wright, and he barely gets Jones. Ball was dropped, but after the glove was already secure, ball secured in the glove, and it was a transition to the throwing hand, so it'll be Jones grounding out to the pitcher to lead off the game.
One thing you notice, too, about these games in town like this, usually we have a 4-man umpire crew. Last night we just had 2. I don't know about you guys down in Sulphur Springs.
2.
I think the magnitude of these games maybe get a little more attention.
All right, Howe's stepping in now. Tristan looks at a first pitch inside for a called strike, hitting .371. He's got the biggest average on the Leopard lineup.
Yeah, one of the things I see with Walker Wright is he likes to get ahead in the count.
Hard grounder towards second. That's Brenton Clark. Stops, throws, and by a step retires Tristan Howe for the second out of the inning. 1-0 lead for Pleasant Grove here in the bottom of the first. 2 away, and Britton Pipes, the third baseman, coming up. We're at 80 degrees. May get a couple of notches higher, but it's just about a perfect day. No rain today. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm about done with the rainy season. Makes it really hard to keep up with baseball fields.
Pipes looks at a pitch down low for ball 1.
Yeah, Pipes is leading the team with 7 doubles so far this year.
1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch from Walker Wright. This one's lifted to center. Wynn's going to kick that one down. And about 1 step maybe is all Hunter Rose had to move. He grabs that one in easily, and a very simple inning for Walker Wright as he puts the Leopards down in order in the first. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. 1-0 the score. Coming back for the top of the second when we return here on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
busy, and we get it. The State Bank mobile app was designed to make banking more convenient for you. Check account activity, make transfers, pay bills, and manage your debit card in a snap. You can deposit checks from the convenience of your home or wherever life lands you. The State Bank app lets you organize your accounts, manage alerts, and easily email our customer service experts. Now that you have State Bank at your fingertips, you can spend more time doing what's important to you.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
We're back. Got a double broadcast going. Now we're back here at Liberty-Eylau, ready for the second inning here.
All right, Buck Anderson will lead things off to start the inning. Chase Elrod, Ty Boozer, the bottom third of the Hawks order, to face Cam Gamble with a 1-0 lead for PG. First pitch, swinging and a ball slicing into left field. Zyvan Banks played that very well. They had him positioned about right. We've seen a couple of them already. Coaches have scouted these guys. They know each other so well. Here's where I want you to stand. The ball's going to come right to you. One pitch, one out. Chase Elrod now. Elrod, the left fielder. Yesterday, Tristan House started the game against Sulphur Springs. First inning, he had a 4-pitch inning to get out of the first.
It's pretty efficient.
Went in there for a strike as Elrod looked at bunting and then pulled it back. No balls and 1 strike.
You know, one of the new things this year is the coaches are able to call the plays into the catchers, call the pitches in rather, with a radio and a little earpiece, something that they have added to baseball in the UIL this year. And first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know if you can do that, but it's just brand new this year.
You know, the old school guys probably won't do it. I was in Sulphur Springs last night, and I don't think Jared Hammock will use a headset. Yeah. Some of the newer, younger guys probably feel okay about that.
Yep. Well, both of these coaches I've seen.
This one's going to be a base hit into left as Elrod waited on a pitch up in the zone, and that's the second Hawk hit of the afternoon. And with 1 away, they've got a runner on for Ty Boozer.
The ball was pretty much on the exact line, just a little bit lower and bounced out there to Zyvan Banks, a sophomore for Liberty-Eylau. Is a young man that I've known all the way. He and my daughter were in first grade class together. He was a great kid all the way back then.
In comes Boozer, who may be the best 9-hole hitter in the state.
Yeah.
First pitch past him, and it's going to go to the backstop, and that will allow easily Chase Elrod to take off and go to second. He had no reason to have to slide down there.
That's actually going to be Clark is back up now.
I missed a batter. Oh, did I miss a batter?
Elrod flew out. Boozer's on second.
You know what I did? I started this with Buck Anderson, who actually made the last out of the first inning. That's why. Now we're going to catch up. So it's, Clark up there.
For what it's worth, Clark's a pretty good hitter too, though.
Yeah. Clark, who singled and scored the only run so far, ahead in the count now, 2 balls and no strikes as Boozer's sitting down at second base.
You have to feel like with Clark, the instruction to Gamble is don't give him something easy.
And they just decided we'll give him something real easy.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take first base, young man.
Yep. Down 2, and they said we don't want any more of that.
Well, if you don't know about respect, that's the sign of it. With a 1-0 game and first base open in the second inning, Zach Fowler decides I'm not even messing with this guy. We'll let him have first base, and we'll try to go after Jared Halter instead. And, of course, again, I'll go back to the game at PG. He basically hit a ball off his shoe tops for a 2-run home run to tie up a ball game that Liberty-Eylau had been in control of up until that 6th inning. Here's a pitch on the way. This one's hard hit to center. Evans played pretty well over there, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Halter flies out, and it brings up Spencer Browning now.
And as you talked about earlier, Colin had cheated just to his right a little bit and didn't have to take too many steps to get over on what was a pretty hard hit ball.
Browning, first time up, popped up to the second baseman, and a ball that Didn't leave the infield dirt. In fact, probably was on the infield grass where Howe got it. Here's the first pitch to him. Hard hit. That's right up the box to center field. Hawks are going to run around as coming to the plate. Oh, bad hop off the mound helps PG a little bit more as Boozer comes in to score from second. And Browning drives in a run to make it 2-0. Clark stops at second. And with 2 away, Hawks get a big 2-out hit from the bat of Spencer Browning.
Boy, that looked like for a second there that we may have an interesting play at first, but like I said, caught the mound there, and Boozer able to come in easily. Got a bat out here. Nah, got Cade Martin getting ready to take off his catcher gear.
Yeah, with 2 outs, the catcher keeps that stuff on just in case. Then you got to do the quick strip tease and get off the catcher gear to get back ready to the plate.
You said I couldn't do that today.
You cannot do that.
Okay.
Cade Martin can do that.
Okay. Not even on the radio do we need you doing a strip tease, Jay.
Now I got to get that out of my head.
Yeah, have some Bob's dip.
Yeah. Here's Martin, who reached on an error on a ball dropped out in center by Evans in the first. First pitch down low.
This is when Chuck says there's a reason he does this by himself.
Yeah, that's right. That's that would be it. 2-0 Hawk lead. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for PG. They got runners at first and second. 1-1 count after the called strike on the off-speed pitch by Gamble. I don't know if I'm Zach Fowler, I let Gamble see these guys more than twice around.
Yeah.
He just doesn't throw hard enough. Makes me feel like what he throws is pretty easy for them to maybe get time on, and he may only have maybe one more inning before they make a switch.
We've seen a few hard hit balls, even the ones that were caught there in the outfield, and yeah, you don't want to gamble with no pun
Gamble.
intended. Yeah.
Hard ground ball, boy, just wide of the bag as Martin turned on it and by about 2 feet missed what would have easily been a double in the left field corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
We talked about it earlier, Cade, a big, strong kid. Of course, played line on football as a punter as well, but you can tell just as he's grown up now as a senior, he's really kind of thickened up and got a lot wider over these last couple of seasons.
Yeah, Martin took an awful long time, and he got hit by a pitch. He actually had called for time.
Yeah.
And the home plate umpire didn't give it to him, and then the pitch came in and grazed him on that left shoulder. It's a second hit batter of this inning, the third in the game. Excuse me, that's the second in the game. It was an intentional walk that was the thing that put Clark on base. So here we go again, second inning, bases loaded for a second time against Gamble. And he's got to face Hunter Rose, who he struck out last time. These are stress innings. When you start seeing runners on all the bases for pitchers, everything's magnified, and he misses outside for ball 1.
And 2 innings in a row, the Hawks have had bases loaded. See if Hunter Rose can.
Oh, another one just off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. That's 8. Make that 7 Hawks that have come to the plate this inning. They did that in the first inning as well. Here's the 2-0. Hit in the air. Coming on Evans. He'll call for it, make the catch. Lost his cap, got the ball, and ends the inning. Leopards defense gives up just 1 with bases loaded again, but 1 run comes across, this time courtesy of 2 hits. There were no errors and bases left loaded again. Hawks have left 6 on through 2 innings. They lead at 2-0. We'll take the timeout and come right back for the bottom of the second here on our joint broadcasts. News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, or maybe a new or pre-owned boat or RV, care for a car wash, had a fender bender, or you need service on your vehicle, boat, or RV, we have it all when you let us exceed your expectations at Greg Orr Auto, Marine, and RV in Shreveport, Texarkana, and Ashdown. Shop hassle-free and always be treated like family while choosing from our sensational selection. In Shreveport, visit or Acura, or BMW, or Cadillac, or Infiniti, and the Greg Orr Pre-Owned Supercenter. In Texarkana, Mercedes-Benz of Texarkana, Classic Buick GMC, Classic Cadillac, Classic Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Classic Kia, Classic Mazda, Classic Pre-Owned, The Classic Car Wash, Greg Orr Marine and RV, Greg Orr Collision, and Classic Chevrolet in Ashdown. Or visit gregorauto.com.
All right, welcome back. Chuck Zach, Matt Fry, Jay Davis with you.
Strikeout flavorless food. Tamales Mexican Kitchen uses USDA All-American skirt steak for that fajitas that sizzle with every bite.
All right, we head to the bottom of the second inning. Eli Jarvis, Maddox Moore, and Colin Evans to face Walker Wright. Pleasant Grove with a 2-0 lead. Single runs in the first and the second with bases loaded both times. And first pitch to Jarvis, hitting about 316 now prior to last night's game.
A little bit low from Walker there.
And we'll make it 1 ball, 2 balls, no strikes. I tell you what, from our vantage point, we're just a little bit off to the first base side of home plate. Those pitches look really good, but we'll do this as well. Jarvis is hanging out over the plate. So what looks like pitches that if he was back in the middle of the box would look about right, from the home plate umpire's vantage point, they're outside, and there's another one that misses 3 balls and no strikes now. And we'll make it 4 in a row as Walker Wright puts his first base runner on this afternoon. Eli Jarvis with a base on balls.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic for Walker Wright. 4 balls in a row, and Coach Fincher's going to come out and talk about that.
And we'll see. He's not bringing in the whole infield. He's bringing in Wright, and he's bringing in Martin. Normally this is quickly a conversation about what do we do with runners on, but that's none of this. This is a very pointed conversation with catcher and pitcher about what do we want to do here.
Yep. Sometimes maybe just taking just a second to make everyone breathe, and
Yep.
not even talking a lot of strategy. Just, hey, you good? All right, let's keep
Throw
it
some
rolling.
strikes. That's usually the message. Let's throw some strikes.
That's about the extent of my baseball coaching ability.
Throw some
If you'll
strikes.
throw it as a strike, it's going to be better.
Like basketball. Make some baskets.
Yeah, put them in there.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Maddox Moore, who's playing first base today, sophomore. He's got a family history at Liberty-Eylau. Older brothers before him, outstanding baseball players.
Yep.
Brother Nate still playing at Henderson. He looks at the first pitch up high for ball 1. Moore will play some first base. He'll play some second base. If Howe's on the mound, it'll be Moore going to second. When Tristan's at second base, Maddox has become a very good first baseman. He made a couple of very impressive plays with low balls that he dug out yesterday that saved, I'm not going to say runs, but saved hits anyway. Here's the pitch. Ground ball toward first. And is it going to be fair? Looks like the field umpire on the first base side says nope, foul. Boozer had trouble with that. He had a runner coming at him. He had a ball coming at him. And it looked like he touched that ball, but they're going to say he touched it in foul territory.
Yeah, that was I thought that was a dangerous situation for the Hawks there. Leopards with a hit and run on, and yeah, I think Boozer maybe got a glove on it, but they say it was foul before that.
Ricky Rushing coaching over at first. This one's lifted in the air, foul out of play, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, Craig Jones, a former Hawk coach, is coaching down at third. All for Zach Fowler, and of course, in the dugout, the old man, Rick Fowler.
Rick, the coach in the 06 championship that's there on the scoreboard. Zach and Ricky, 2 players on that team.
Pitch on the way, ground ball foul. Jones making a step over. That's amazing to watch because Craig Jones never moves for balls hitting that direction. He just watches a kid go get it. For him to actually take a couple steps and catch a foul ball.
He's feeling a little good out here in the sunshine today on a Saturday.
A little spry.
Yeah. He's, got a good night rest. Got some breakfast this morning and figures he can get this game in before dark.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Moore takes a hit in the elbow, and he's going to go down to first base.
And so now the Leopards with some guys on the bags and threatening here in this 3rd inning. See.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of pull. I'm watching Ricky rushing down at first, kind of, pulling out that arm. May have gotten that right on the funny bone. And I'm not so sure. Maddox didn't make a great effort to get out of the way.
Yeah.
He kind of hung in there
a little bit.
Yeah. We saw earlier one of the one of the Hawk batters get hit. Halter did. Halter had that big elbow guard on. I think Maddox may think about, I want to put that elbow guard on too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a good place to get hit with a baseball.
Colin Evans up now, playing center today. Evans, who started the year up in the 4 spot, slid down in the order. He was struggling, but he's gone 5 for his last 6, including a 3-hit night last night. And he looks at a pitch up high as he shows bunt for ball 1.
Colin's another one of these young men that I've known for a long time. Of course, Chad, stepdad, works out here.
Yeah, Ty Boozer's coming in. He was inside the pitcher mound.
He's doing like a softball third baseman. Evans showing bunt, and this time misses. Throw down to second base, and Leopards got very lucky right there. Straying a little far off the bag was Jarvis, and tell you what, Cade Martin kind of crossed him up. A ball you think is going back to the mound. He threw it down to short instead, and if Jared Halter handles that cleanly, I think they got Jarvis out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leopard still without a hit. I think Jarvis will be paying more attention to what Martin does. Here comes the pitch. Bunted, foul, third base side. Now it's 1-2. Again, it tells you how much you want to try to get runs across here. Evans, who, as I said, was 5 for his last 6. They asked a bunt with nobody out, 2nd inning.
We're trying to get it to 3rd there. Browning going to stay back on the bag with a base runner coming his way. Now Boozer backs up at first base.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Walker right checking his runner at 2nd. He'll come to the plate. Evans looks at a pitch inside, and Hawk fans, you can hear him, not happy with that call.
That one would have been hard for me to look at.
Yeah, Walker Wright actually had a couple of nods back and forth as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes now. Pitch that the umpire called inside. Here's the 2-2 ground ball. It's going to be toward Halter. Flip to Clark for 1. Relay in time for 2. And the runner will move to 3rd, but the Hawks will trade the 1 base for the 2 outs. And it'll be up to Cam Gamble to try to get him in after the 6-4-3 double play.
Gamble will come in, try to help himself out, and that interior infield for Pleasant Grove just has been impressive this year. You've seen that same scenario play out several times, and they do play some pretty impressive defense.
So here's Gamble with 2 away. Cam hitting from the right side, looks at a pitch down low, ball 1, hitting .261 on the season. It's a chance to, as they say, help himself here. That one's in there, belt high for a called strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, if they can get to him, Dylan Neighbors. Here's the delivery. Ground ball slapped over the head of the pitcher. Halter gloves it, throws it, and no!
Not in time.
First base umpire's going to call him safe. Here comes Riley Fincher out to complain. And the Leopards pick up a run on an infield single by Cam Gamble.
That ball took a little bit of a high bounce for Halter to be able to field it, and he fired it over there, and boy, that is a bang-bang play, but we talked about it. You've got 4 umpires out there, and the first base umpire right there on top of it, and he called that safe quickly.
Am I wrong to think Halter caught that and then went to the bag at 2nd and threw?
He was going toward the bag at least, yeah.
It looked like instead of settling and throwing, he acted like there may have still been a runner on first, may have lost track of runners and thought he had to turn a double play. And for just that split second, may have cost him getting the out at first base. Will Tipton going to come in a run for Gamble so he can get back and get a break before he goes back to the mound. Leopards with their first hit in their first run, and we got a 2-1 ball game for Dylan Neighbors, the catcher. Swing and a miss. Martin with a rocket down to second base, and they throw out Tipton, who tries to steal on the first pitch, and that'll end the inning. Leopards get a run on a hit. They leave nobody on base. We're going to go to the top of the third. 2-1 Pleasant Grove with the lead. Quick timeout, coming right back to our joint broadcast here on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Texar is a community-first credit union which has served members in and around the Texarkana area since 1951.
Having 3 offices and employing almost 100 people, today Texar serves citizens of Cass, Bowie, Little River, Miller, Red River, and Lamar counties.
Through the years, we've had many different names.
From our humble beginnings as Bowie County Teachers Credit Union to where we are today.
We are honored to offer our members quality service with exceptional products.
We also take pride in staying one step ahead when it comes to introducing the latest and greatest in banking technology.
From personal to commercial banking.
And turning houses into homes.
We believe in banking made easy.
To make life easier for you.
Dylan Neighbors now warming up for the Leopards.
All righty, welcome back. Top of the third inning. 2-1 ball game. We had speculated in the second inning that Cam Gamble probably wouldn't get more than one more inning. Well, we were wrong. He only got that inning because Zach Fowler decided twice through the lineup's good. We're going to make a switch, and this is maybe going to be the Leopard strategy tonight. Dylan Neighbors, who was behind the plate, goes out to the mound, and coming onto the field now and behind the plate will be
got Gabe Jarvis.
Gabe Jarvis, yeah, who's the second catcher. Neighbors right-hander. First pitch he throws to Landon West, fouled off the gear of Jarvis, so you get to come out there and get a ball off your face.
Yeah. Of course, Eli and Gabe twins. What are they, juniors?
Yeah.
Okay.
The line on Gamble: 2 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks. One of those intentional, and had 2 hit batters. So Neighbors, last time we saw Dylan was 8 days ago. He was on the mound in the game that Liberty-Eylau lost to Paris, which has been the shocker in the district so far. They lost a 3-2 ball game. That pitch is a little bit high. He struck out 9 that day.
Wow.
But Paris just got hits over and over again through the infield. They didn't hit a ball hard, really. They just hit them where they weren't.
And then the Leopards couldn't get one.
And the Leopards couldn't get a clutch hit where they needed it. And so they lost to the last place team in the district and had a week to think about it before last night's game against Sulphur Springs and came out and scored 5 in the first. So Neighbors, second pitcher out of the dugout now, and he's behind 3 balls and 1 strike to Landon West. It'll be West, Anderson, and Elrod for PG with a 2-1 lead. Hawks have out-hit the Leopards 3-1. And he misses ball 4. Now, twice Landon West has been up, twice he's walked.
So that'll bring up Buck Anderson, another one of the sophomores on this Hawk team.
We get a little wind in our ear.
Man.
In case you didn't have enough breeze, you get a little bit more. We got gusty winds at around 15, 18 miles an hour today.
So go listen to us on the porch and you can have the entire experience.
That's right. It's like you're right here with us. All right, here's Anderson from the right side. Ground ball to third. Pipes gets it. To Howe for 1. They can't make the second, and he dropped the ball. They're going to say same thing as earlier. He had the ball, was transitioning or transferring the ball to his throwing hand. Well, I say that. Umpire showed out.
He did.
Yeah, there he goes. He's going to move now West off the bag at second base. That was really close, though. Howe had the ball and was a very bang-bang. Here's the thing, and I think Zach Fowler's going to ask, well, did the runner give my infielder a chance to make the relay?
Yeah.
Did he interfere with my fielder?
You got both coaches questioning. Yeah, Riley wants to know.
Did he actually catch the
ball?
ball?
The ball, and Zach's saying, is it interference? And the guy's like, how do I make a call and get both guys mad?
Yeah, well, that means you're doing good. If everybody's mad at you, you're doing a good job. And Fincher's been a little riled up on a couple of things now. The infield single that Gamble got in the last half inning got him out of the dugout. Now he's got that call. And with one away, here's Elrod coming up. Elrod flew out to left his first time up, a ball that they had him played perfectly as he sliced one towards Ivan Banks. 2-1 lead. Throw over to first, and diving back is Buck Anderson. On deck, Ty Boozer.
Elrod, not a huge guy, but he's hit with power this year at times.
If he's going to do that, he's going to have to do it to left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shows bunt, pitch misses, low and away for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Neighbors hasn't had a bunch of time on the mound this year, but with the little balky arm for W.T. Jones, Zach Fowler's gone with some different guys have had a chance to go out there and throw. And Dylan Neighbors has been one of those guys.
Well, that's the thing. You have this matchup, Leopards and Hawks, and we have not seen W.T. Jones or Jarrett Halter
on the mound
in these matchups,
yeah.
And arguably the top pitcher for each team.
A couple of throws over as Anderson dives back in. Neighbors trying his best to keep him close. That one's in there for a strike. As looked like Elrod didn't like or wasn't expecting that pitch. You sit with no strikes on a specific pitch sometimes, and you don't get it, no harm, no foul.
Jarvis may have the opportunity to throw behind Anderson on first here.
That one's low and inside. Jarvis does a nice job keeping that in front of him. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I don't know if it would be more difficult to come in as a backup catcher or backup pitcher.
Yeah, right. Here's the 2-1. This one fouled out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We do know this much anyway. Whenever Neighbors is on the mound, Jarvis is his catcher.
It's pretty much the one option you have.
Yeah. So that's he knows he knows who his guy is anyway. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long look from Neighbors out of the stretch. Pitch it looked up in the zone, but Elrod was protecting the plate, and he swings at it and fouls it off the gear again. So it stays 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We're just playing defense there, and we've seen that a couple of times.
After this one, we're down to 4 games left for each team on the 2024 season. Hard to believe. We got 2 weeks left, and then we're playoffing. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt, though. Throw's going to come down to second base. Jarvis is actually going to throw out the runner. It's a double play, and it's a double play because first base was occupied. Elrod couldn't go down to first. Even though the runner took off, your strikeout is still your strikeout. And Jarvis heads up, throws to second, and gets Anderson, who came off the bag a little too far when he went down that way. So a strikeout, 2-6 double play ends the inning. Hawks get no runs, no hits. There's nobody left on. We're done with 2.5. 2-1 lead for Pleasant Grove. Back in 60 seconds here on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We've got the best front end alignment machine guys here, and we also do AC work for the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY. We do that too. Plus tires. Now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Pleasant Grove with the lead. Walker Wright still on the mound. Dylan Neighbors who pitched the last half inning for the Leopards, will lead things off. Zyvan Banks and W.T. Jones to follow. 2-1 game, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Hawks, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for the Leopards. Pitch comes in on Neighbors, who manages to flinch out of the way. Ball 1. Walker Wright through 2 innings has been pretty darn solid. 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run. Ground ball third base side, and that one, that's more like Craig Jones.
There it is. That's what you see.
You know, they unveiled the statue of Allen Iverson in Philadelphia the other day. That had more motion than Craig Jones, I think.
But was a little shorter.
It was. Yes, it was. The ball bounces in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Joe Perlman jogging out of the dugout. When we're talking about the Astro look uniforms, Perlman was like, I love those uniforms. Fincher was like, I hated those uniforms. They're the worst we ever had.
Didn't feel good when they wore them. Didn't feel like they played well.
Well, pitch up in the zone. Neighbors manages to hold off. Pretty good bat discipline by Dylan Neighbors. 3 balls and 1 strike. Boozer, Clark, Halter, Browning around the infield for PG. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that one on the outside part of the play. Maybe the best velocity we've seen from Walker Wright so far this afternoon.
A little pop in the glove on that one and just barely caught the outside of the plate.
Goes back. That one inside and low. So for a second straight inning, the Leopards get the leadoff man on courtesy of a free pass. And it'll bring up Zyvan Banks. And while Banks is coming to the plate, we're also getting Arian Taylor to come in. Taylor going to run for Neighbor since he's on the mound now, so it'll be a courtesy run. Keep an eye on Arian Taylor if you're a Leopard fan over the next few years. The freshman has home run power. First pitch to Banks. He's a little bit high for ball 1. Banks, who's typically a courtesy runner for the catcher, moving into the starting lineup today, which is the first time this season he started a game in the field.
Taylor broke towards second.
Bunt, but right back to Walker Wright. He'll go to second for 1, and there's no relay as Arian Taylor came in. The bunt from Banks, it's a ball that was hard to do anything with up high, and so he bunted back to the mound where Walker Wright fielded that very well. And they retire the lead man, Arian Taylor. So there's 1 away. Banks on with the fielder's choice, and we're back to W.T. Jones. Grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. Little dribbler first base side. Hard hit ball. This one's past the diving first baseman, Boozer. Banks is going to turn and run. He better hustle to get in there, and he will, and the ball gets past the third baseman. Banks is going to come in to score, and we're tied at 2. And it's just the speed of Zyvan Banks that's impossible to defend against. He went first to third without breaking stride, and the throw in from Landon West just got past Browning, and that allowed Banks to come in and score, and we're knotted up at 2 here in the third.
Zyvan Banks certainly a weapon on the base pass when you can get from first to third that quickly. And again, we talk about just the tension and the tightness in these kind of games.
And while the base on balls didn't score, it put a runner on base that allowed the faster Banks to get on his bunt attempt, and that walk actually inadvertently leads to a run. Riley Fincher's seen all he wants to see. He comes out to get the ball after WT's hard hit. And I say hard, it wasn't that hard.
No.
It just bled its way through the infield. So
Hunter Rose coming in.
Yeah, we're going to make a little switcheroo here as Hunter Rose is going to come in from center field. And we'll see how the rest of the movement's going to be. If Walker's probably going to go out into the outfield.
Yeah, Walker plays right field. Yep.
There he goes. So Rose in, West moves over to center, and Walker Wright comes into right field, and we got a tie ball game, which means at the moment anyway, Walker Wright can't get a win and potentially could get a loss if W.T. Jones, who's on second base, would score and be the last run of this game.
So Landon West will go over to left field, and they'll move Jace Elrod into center field.
Oh, they did that. They made him walk the long distance. That's a little mean.
We talked about the Leopards not wanting Gamble to see the second time through the Hawk lineup, and I guess Coach Fincher decided the first batter for the second time for the Leopards was enough of that.
Which, again, tells you just how both of these coaches look at this game.
Yep.
They really do. I mean, here's the scenario for both. Pleasant Grove wins, they own the tiebreaker and a 3-game lead with 4 games left to play. Liberty-Eilau's not going to win the district. Leopards win this game and win out, which means they would beat PG on the last game of the season. They own the tiebreaker and they're the district champion. So this has a lot of meaning to it, even with 2 weeks left in the season.
Absolutely, meaning in standings and all that, but also I think you could ask either one of these guys and none of them want to lose this game ever.
No. And I think for the Leopards, there's a last ditch in this district before you drop down to 3A. You want to say, we got the district in our last year here. Of course, you'd rather hoist the state championship.
Yeah, that would be.
But still, there's meaning in a district championship, and you like the fact there's meaning in a district championship.
Yes.
All right, so here's Tristan Howe now with the new pitcher, lefty Hunter Rose. Last year, outstanding. First pitch, a little outside and high, ball 1.
We talked about earlier, Hunter nursed a hand injury on that pitching hand for the first part of this season, and so very limited pitching opportunities this year.
W.T. Jones at second. Pitch to Howe comes riding in, and it's ball 2. For a second, I thought that may have hit the foot of Howe the way he reacted, like it took him away from his at-bat, but it did not. It was way inside, and so it's 2 balls and no strikes. Bretton Pipes waiting on deck. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-2 ball game. Both with 2 runs, both with 3 hits now. That one's in there for a called strike.
Of course, Howe, I know, pitched 2 innings last night, so he should have a few pitches today if they need him to come in.
Yeah, and it gave up. Of course, 1 inning was 4 pitches.
Right.
The other was 24, so he had 28 pitches that he threw. He's got about 80 left.
Well under the limit there.
This one lifted foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, that one will land over on the foundation of the new baseball complex. They're not complex, but the baseball hitting facility that they're building for the Leopards out here.
Well, you can either put down field turf for $1 million, or you can build a pad for $200,000.
There you go.
Here's the 2-2. Hard grounder. This is toward Halter. Jones, ball bobbled. Halter's throw is going to be late. Jones had to stick because the ball was in front of him. If it's in front of you, you don't advance. And it kind of threw Halter off for just a second, and the Hawks have their first error of the game.
Couldn't make the transfer there. Now you can hear the left side of the crowd being a little bit louder.
So runners at first and second. Here's Britton Pipes up now. And in all fairness for Halter, he's got Jones, and I think Jones had faked him into thinking I'm going to go to third, and he looked up just enough to check him and didn't have the ball yet. So he got even stuff across the board, 2-3-1 for each team. And here's Britton Pipes, who flew out to center field first time up. Hunter Rose stepping off. Nobody really covering the bag, and Brenton Clark's basically saying, just throw the ball. Worry about the batter. Here's the pitch. Ground ball toward third. And that's going to be easy play for Browning. Across the infield, not in time, as he actually pulled Boozer off the bag at first. And so the Hawks are going to not get an error on that because they had a force out at third. It'll be the second out of the inning, but the bases will stay first and second with 2 away now.
That was going to be a tight play regardless, but Browning pulling the first baseman off the bag there. Just a little bit wide.
So Jones goes out on the ground out third base. And with 2 outs, runners at first and second, here's Eli Jarvis, who walked and scored the first run of the game and for the Leopards. And that one's in there for a called strike. This inning began with a walk to Neighbors. Arian Taylor got forced out at second on a bunt attempt by Zyvan Banks. Jones singled, driving in Banks on a errant throw from right field. It's inside for a ball. Error on the shortstop on Tristan Howe's grounder, and now the fielder's choice grounder that Britton Pipes just hit. It's your recap of the third.
Jarvis is second on the team with RBIs with 20, looking to add.
Hawks and Hunter Rose trying to get out of here before any more leopard damage, and time Jarvis swings at a high ball.
Well, you say swings, more like I'm thinking about swinging, and then I tried to check, and that ball hit my bat anyway.
When I played Little League, that
was
was
a swing?
Yeah, that looked like some of my genetics happening out there.
You went back and got an orange wedge and went, that was me swinging.
That's what it was. That's why I'm eating chips and talking in a microphone.
1-2, big chopper. This is going to be Browning with it. Throw over, dug out by Boozer. Does a nice job on the stretch, and that retires the side. But the Leopards tie it up. They get 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 2 men left on base. Leopards have left on 2 through 3 innings. We'll go to the top of the 4th. All knotted up at 2. You're on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking account in high school to the first home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender. Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step.
Leading off for the Hawks, number 28, Ty
Boozer. With strike 1 for the Hawks.
Welcome back. Top of the 4th inning. 2-2 ball game. As Dylan Neighbors stays on the mound for this top of the 4th, facing Ty Boozer, and then back around to the top of the order. But I'm feeling hungry right now, Jay Davis.
Well, batter up for big Tex-Mex flavor. Tamales Mexican Kitchen uses only the freshest ingredients, chopped daily for their legendary tacos, enchiladas, and more.
Jay, were these provided reads or are these Jay Davis
I wrote these.
Originals?
I wrote these.
Don't quit your day job. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way to Boozer, breaking ball, got him looking. Dylan Neighbors with his first strikeout in the top of the 4th. Has 1 out now, and striding to the plate is Brenton Clark, who's singled, scored, and been given first on an intentional walk. And so here you go, Zach Fowler. First base is open again. You put him on again. Now, last time they did it with a runner at second base. This time looks like they're going to pitch to Brenton. Now, if you get behind the count 2-0, you may end up walking him anyway.
Yeah, got a different pitcher up here.
Fastball from Neighbors misses high and away, ball 1.
And if there's a home run, you'll be thoroughly impressed with the read I have.
Really?
Let's see.
You built that up so big, I don't know if I can do the rest of this game now.
I hope there's one.
I'm hoping for a homer. Yeah, this will not be it. This is a sky-high pop-up. Oh, look at the wind blow that thing. Keeps blowing it toward the Leopard dugout, and sure enough, Britton Pipes fought that ball the whole time as the wind kept taking it, and then all of a sudden didn't. And it falls harmlessly for a foul ball, and strike 1. That went up forever. You could just see the wind pushing it, and then when the wind stopped, it stopped moving, and Pipes was kind of calibrating like I got to get this thing as it keeps moving toward that Leopard dugout.
And a 2 o'clock game with the sun above us didn't help that either.
No, that's true.
Yeah, most fortunate thing for Pipes is that was in foul territory and doesn't count for anything other than strike 1.
They'll do it again. This one's slicing. This is going to end up being foul territory. Long run for Zyvan Banks, who can't get to it. And now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's the advantage if you're the Leopards and you see him slicing a ball. That wind is pushing it so hard. Without the wind, that probably is down the line a double. With that wind, that thing's 10 feet foul.
And Clark is a pull hitter most of the time. You don't know if he's just trying to go oppo here because of the wind and just behind a little bit.
Well, and Neighbors is a harder thrower than Gamble. He goes fastball. How about it again? Another one popped up toward the Leopard dugout. This is going to get into the crowd. And it stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, Pipes would like another chance at one.
That was an error by Mickey Moore.
Really?
He didn't catch it either over there, huh?
No.
Bet he's never heard that before, huh? No comment.
Bananas game.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
1-2 and just missing outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Is Neighbors does what a lot of the Leopard pitchers do, and that's a quick pitch. Every once in a while, trying to change up the pace, they'll go quicker on their delivery. This one misses way wide. Now it's 3-2. Clark, who's on his way to Fayetteville next year, will join another Texarkana product. Way high, ball 4. Well, he was there for a while, and then Neighbors just lost him. And so Clark on for the 3rd time. It's Ty Wade's Arkansas High product up there. And, of course, there's another one. There's another Arkansas High pitcher who's up there as well. Now his name's escaping me as I think about it. I knew it when before I said it, and I'm like, I can't remember who it is.
I think that's always great when you have local kids go somewhere that we're able to watch them and keep up. And, of course, Arkansas's baseball program.
Number 1 in the country.
Slightly successful.
In comes number 2 hitter Jared Halters, hit by a pitch, flown out to center. By the way, Clark's been on all 3 times now. Single intentional walk, and that time a full count base on balls. Neighbors peeking over that left shoulder at Clark. This one lifted to center again. Couple steps back and then charging in, and Colin Evans will grab it. It's the right inclination. Take a step back first, and then that wind started pushing it back toward him and back toward the infield, and there's 2 outs.
Okay. Get on his horse a little bit to get out from under it, or get up under it rather.
All right, here comes Spencer Browning now. Browning with a pop out to second and a single. He drove in the 2nd run of the day for Pleasant Grove. 2-2 ball game. We're in the top of the 4th. Fastball up high for ball 1 from Dylan Neighbors. Neighbors in relief of Cam Gamble, who went 2 innings and gave up the 2 runs. Both teams into their 2nd pitcher now. Throw over, Clark diving back. Maddox Moore over there at first. Joe Perlman coaching over that way. He's responsible now for yelling out, "Get back" at the right time.
Yep, keeping them. I like Joe. He's been a good addition. Seems like a great kid out there. Does a lot of hard work out on the field.
Hard hit grounder foul as it lined past third base between the umpire and Riley Fincher.
The umpire stuck his hand out like he might want to grab that and then thought better of it.
That'll get you a trip to an orthopedics guy on Monday. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's
Browning tattooed that ball. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Neighbors' pitch, goes off speed. That one catches the outside part of the plate. And now it's 1-2. Neighbors came in the 3rd, gave up a walk, but got a little help from a double play to end the inning. Now he's got 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Another throw back over, keep Clark close. It's always a problem with the head first slide. You're going to get dirt in the britches. Clark taking off. There was no way he was going to make that, and they'll run him back to first base. Clark was expecting to time the delivery by Dylan Neighbors.
Yeah.
Neighbors hadn't even let go of the ball yet, and Clark's very lucky to stop halfway and turn around and hightail it back to first base.
Yeah, that very fortunate to be able to get back on the bag there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. They'll probably be a little more conservative this time. It's popped up in the infield. Let's see if it's Jones and Pipes. It'll be Jones calling for it. He'll circle under it, and that'll end the inning. Harmless pop out to the shortstop. No runs, no hits. runner left on base. Hawks have left on 7 through 4 innings. We're still knotted up at 2, coming back for the bottom of the 4th next. Here on News Talk 107.1 in Texarkana Game Day.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Stevens, General Manager and Marketing Director for Local Habit Coffee Company. Local Habit exists to spark a revival of local communities and the beauty they inherently possess by bringing people together over exceptional third-wave coffee. We then want them to take the joy and good vibes they get from us out into their local town and go make something good happen.
One of our top priorities is providing exceptional customer service. We want to make sure our customers left better than when they came in. Our customers should walk away thinking about how incredible their coffee was, how nice and genuine their barista was, and how inviting and comforting our space is.
Come by today and enjoy a hot cup of coffee with us.
Swing by Tamales Mexican Kitchen for Enchilada Wednesdays, served with love from their family to yours. And then you can actually make it a double. Every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday at Tamales Mexican Kitchen, where you've got 2 tacos your way for a steal.
For a steal, even. You know what? You show up with chips and queso, you can read whatever you want.
All right, welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Chuck Zach, Matt Fry, Jay Davis. I'm working with all-stars here, I feel like. I'm like a noob at the all-star game. I've got the big eyes with you two.
The all-stars are on the field. This is a phenomenal game, tied up, going into the 4th inning.
Well, no. I had the big eyes. You guys have all the chips and queso, and I got nothing here.
No, there's plenty of them. You're having to talk too much. That's the problem.
That's what my wife says.
See?
You talk too much. That's the problem. All right, we'll go to the 4th now. Leading things off, Maddox Moore. And Moore will foul this one down the right field line and out of play.
Moving down toward the right field fence of knowledge.
It's amazing how every high school baseball field has defensive knowledge.
Right?
It's everywhere.
Tell you what, I grew up doing PG games, and there was a lot of knowledge down that third baseline grounder by Moore. Halter's got it on the second bounce. Throw in time, and there's one away. Jared Halter's all of a sudden gotten a lot of action his way the last couple innings.
Yeah.
Moore now 0 for 1. Colin Evans up now. He hit into a 6-4-3 double play back in the 2nd inning. 1 out, 2-2 ball game. It's exactly what you expect and exactly what you hope for. Competitive, good ball game between 2 really good teams. Hawks ranked 7, I believe, in the state. Leopards down to 12 in the state after that loss to Paris, but they are 2 of the top 15 teams in the state of Texas. There's a called strike, and it's 0-2 as Hunter Rose, who's come in the 3rd inning, is looking like he's finding his groove. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a foul tip into the catcher's glove for out number 2. And it'll be up to the spot that was Cam Gamble. They've moved things around now, and so it'll be Gabe Jarvis who's batting.
So you talk about both of these teams and rankings. You expect both of them to be in the conversation for the regional championship as well, and maybe a chance to represent Region 2 down in Austin.
Got to get by Salina, who, by the way, is now the number 1 team in the state. They beat China Springs last week 5-0, who had been number 1. That's a fastball. It's missing inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, the Bobcats are still going to have something to say about who gets out of this region.
I'm good with riding with either one of these 2 teams.
Boy, 3-0. Pitch that misses again just outside. And the strike zone got a little small for Hunter Rose all of a sudden. He comes in with a obvious take. Strike 1 on 3-0. Dylan Neighbors is on deck if Jarvis can get on. Here's the 3-1 by Rose. That's up high, no doubter. Ball 4. Leopards have picked up 3 now bases on balls. And with 2 outs, Dylan Neighbors, who walked and got forced out, and we got all kinds of moving parts. It looks like Jarvis is going to come out, and Will Tipton's going to come in and run. something he had done earlier, and he quickly got thrown out trying to steal earlier. Neighbors, who's walked and got forced out, comes up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, Tipton does have 8 steals for the season, so he's just because he was thrown out last time doesn't mean he won't try again.
Well, I think maybe you can't beat Tipton. I wonder if they use Tipton in a different spot, and they're going to have to pull him out of there.
So, yeah.
For the DH spot, I think Jarvis has to stay, and that's exactly what's happening.
I think Tipton ran for the pitcher.
Yeah. Yep. So Jarvis gets to run for himself. Changes the dynamic a little bit. Not that Gabe is a plotter on the bases, it's just Tipton's faster. And then we'll have a throw over, and it's a clouded dust. Looks like Pigpen over there if you're a Charlie Brown fan. Jarvis works up half of the infield dirt over around first base. He instantly got dirty. Pitch low and away. That's 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs here in the 4th.
Caden Martin wants a different ball after that one.
I don't know how.
In the dirt.
I don't know even with Tipton if I brought him in, if I'm running on Martin again. Martin's just got a cannon back there. And again, move over. That's a tough move. Hunter Rose with that left-handed. He looks like he's coming to the plate, but he hasn't broken the threshold. And if you're a base runner over there, you better be paying attention. Ricky Rushing doing the Joe Perlman job, making sure his runner stays close. Out of the stretch, fastball. That one's a called strike. And the count's even for Neighbors, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that one looked kind of like some of the others that were.
That was very good framing.
Yeah, that's.
That one not
side.
quite.
Yep.
2 balls, 1 strike. We could use a cloud or two. It's actually getting a little warm right now.
Yeah, kind of.
The wind's died down just a tad.
They're trying to check his swing, and that ball's in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Neighbors had done that earlier in the game, had a pretty good bat discipline holding up. That time he held up, but it got in there anyway. Here's the 2-2, way high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It'd be Zyvan Banks on deck if Neighbors can reach. Which I don't know if I'm the Leopards. I'd rather have Zyvan Banks leading off the 5th.
Yeah, try to get him on.
And they're going to start the runner, but this ball's fouled back to the screen, and we'll do 3-2 again. So if you can get Banks on with Jones and Howe and Pipes behind him, you feel pretty good about you a chance to get a run around. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes again. Pitch up, ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Hunter Rose. And the Leopards have runners at first and second, and it will be Banks coming to the plate now with 2 away. And Arian Taylor's about to come in and run for Neighbors.
You feel it tighten up a little bit, and I don't know if Riley's going to walk out or just try to get.
Tell you what, there's a lot of moving parts going on right now. A lot of strategy working here. All right, 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 game, bottom of the 4th. Number 9 hitter, Zyvan Banks. From the right side against lefty Hunter Rose, pitch high, ball 1. Boy, I think.
I don't say you don't want to walk him.
Well, you got WT behind him, and that will probably be the last batter Rose faces would be Banks. Now, he did not pitch to Jones. That one's in there for a strike. He came in after Jones' single in the 3rd, so you can't really say, well, WT would have seen him once already. He has not.
Yeah, Zyvan Banks with a big opportunity for the Leopards here, either with a hit or just some plate discipline.
Well, that one's in there for a strike, and now Rose takes command. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Rose with a chance to get out of an inning.
A couple of sophomores. These guys are going to do this for the next 2 years. Here's Rose pitch. That's up in the zone and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jarvis is at second. Taylor is at first. Both on because of base on balls. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Rose gets out of the inning. No runs for the Leopards in the fourth. There were no hits, no errors, 2 men left on. They've left on 4 through 4 innings. We'll take a break and come right back in 60 seconds here on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
Texline Card House, where the stakes are high and the cards are hotter than ever. Here at Texline Card House, we deal in excitement, strategy, and unforgettable moments. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-timer, our tables cater to every level of skill and ambition. Join the poker revolution where every hand could be your winning hand. Get in on the action. Come see us at pokeratlas.com for all of our updates and experience the game like never before. Texline Card House is the best little poker house in Texas.
Two game as we get ready for the fifth here.
All right, welcome back. We move into the top of the fifth inning. Knotted up at 2. We got celebrities all around. As we mentioned, Mickey Moore on the LE side a few minutes ago. I see Tom Walker and the real celebrity, Karen Walker, on the PG side. Game Day today handing out Legends cards. Morgan Smith giving out the cards of Will Middlebrooks and Zach Fowler today.
Yep.
I need my autographed Michael Walker card. Walker, who got his first start of the year last week and ended up with a shutout victory. He didn't go the complete game, but his Royals, who had won 7 in a row, I think, prior to last night, got himself a win. Starting off the top of the fifth, Cade Martin fouls one out of play, first base side. Martin, Hunter Rose, and Landon West, the 4, 5, 6 hitters in the Hawk order, facing Dylan Neighbors. Second Leopard pitcher of the day, who misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Of course, Michael Walker and Will Middlebrooks were both part of the big Boys and Girls Club fundraiser earlier this year.
It's a called strike by Neighbors, 1 and 2 now.
Two guys giving back to the community, and then you talk about Mrs. Walker. That's who ran the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
All of us, the rest of us were just there.
That's right. Stand where she tells you to stand. Ground ball toward WT. He's got it through, looping toward first base to Maddox Moore for the out. Jones didn't put a whole lot on that. He timed that. Cade Martin, not the fastest runner, and he timed it. I'm going to get Cade by just this much.
Got to add a little drama on an afternoon.
Do you really? Do you really need drama? 1 out now. Hunter Rose. Hunter Rose is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Facing Neighbors. This one lifted foul out of play behind the Leopard fans on the third base side.
Making that poor umpire on the first base side having to work extra hard today.
That's good for him. Fastball high, 1-1. Cam Gamble started this game for the Leopards, went 2 innings. This is inning number 3 for Dylan Neighbors. Showing bunt, and that one's a little bit low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hawks, especially with 2 strikes, like to do the we're going to fake the bunt just to kind of take a little bit of the concentration away from the pitcher. That one missing inside, 3-1.
Yeah, I always thought maybe they're just trying to disrupt the look that the pitcher has.
Yeah. Fouled again, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Neighbors has come in, has not given up a hit yet. He has walked 2.
Look at Rose's swing. It's not ever really hard, just kind of smooth, but
he fouls that one. Well,
has some power behind it.
Yeah, that almost sounded like a cracked wooden bat, the way that that thing sounded coming off of there. Of course, none of them using wood.
No, I don't know what the new thing is in bat technology.
Ball 4. So second walk, third walk handed out by Dylan Neighbors. That's been the problem for the pitchers so far today. They've handed out a lot of free passes. Between Gamble and Neighbors, they've walked 5. And on the other side, between Rose and Walker Wright, they've walked 5. So here comes Landon West, who's walked 2 of the times he's been up, the only 2 times. Here's the pitch to him, and that one's in there for a called strike. Look low.
Man, yeah.
That one's a called strike 1.
Maybe that was good framing like we talked about earlier from Cade Martin. That time Jarvis helping his pitcher out.
Throw over to first, diving back, Hunter Rose. Hunter Rose has the oven mitt on the left hand, so you don't get fingers caught up in the slide. This keeps them all together. Those of us who grew up back in the day were mittens, not gloves. Popped foul. This is just over our head and drops at the feet of Leopard fans and Hawk fans, none of whom moved. Not a single one of them moved. I'd be flinching. Not a single one of them.
Just let it go.
Yeah, if it hits me, it hits me.
And there are no snow cones to get, so no one chased it really hard.
Right.
Maybe we need to give them some chips and queso from Tamales, Jay.
Nope.
Wow.
Jay was quick on the draw.
The 0-2. Breaking ball misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I believe that, sharing is caring, Jay Davis.
Well, I don't care, but I know where they can get some more.
Wow.
He said he's been giving them directions the entire game.
That's right. Here's the 1-2. Oh, that's a good-looking pitch, and it got him looking. Yeah, Landon West was looking for something specific, and that wasn't it. I think he was looking fastball and got a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, and it just froze him. And that's out number 2 for Buck Anderson to come to the plate. Now Anderson was grounded out to the shortstop and reached on a fielder's choice before he got wiped out when he overran second base and ended the 3rd inning getting doubled off.
Neighbors sending Rose back to first. Sometimes I wonder when the opposing pitcher is over there if it's just to harass him a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You look too clean over there.
I'm going to make you get in the dirt.
Yeah. Sorry, your folks need to do laundry tonight. Pitch low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Make him get that heart rate up just a little bit before he gets back out there on the mound.
Which is a little bit strange with 2 outs. Either tells you Hunter Rose is not coming back to the mound in the next inning, or Riley Fincher you're going to run. I don't care.
He's had him on the bases this year quite a bit before he was able to throw.
Neighbors kind of grooved that one in there for a strike. That did not have much on it. Anderson watched it go by. 1 ball, 1 strike. That felt like a flat pitch that would have been pretty easy to tee off on. Neighbors comes back now and he's low with the fastball, and he kind of hamster cusses himself. 2 balls and 1 strike. Flips the ball up, smacks it with his bare hand. That's an unhappy at the last pitch. He wasn't mad at the call, he was mad at himself. 2 balls, 1 strike. This one's popped in the infield. It'll be Jones coming in, Pipes calling him off, and Britton will catch the ball about 15 feet off the pitcher's mound, 3rd base side, for out number 3. No runs, there were no hits, no errors, and another man left on. Hawks have 8 men left on through 5 innings. Bottom of the 5th coming up. We're knotted up still at 2. You're on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Jared Halter, the new pitcher, warming up for the Hawks, and so he will come in the 5th inning for Pleasant Grove.
All right, welcome back. We move to the bottom of the 5th, 2-2 ball game. We speculated with Hunter Rose at first. He either wouldn't be coming back in or Riley Fincher just wanted him to run. Well, he's not coming back in. Jared Halter moves to the mound. So for Hunter Rose, inning and 2/3, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs. Halter, the right-hander, to face W.T. Jones. Not that these guys aren't really good buddies. First pitch high inside, ball 1.
Yeah, I think they definitely know a lot about each other.
That one a little close inside, ball 2. Ball bounced off the brick facade behind home plate and careened back out onto the field where Halter's got to go chase it down. Now, I didn't see, who did they move over to shortstop?
Looks like
Clark's still over at second.
Browning moved to short. Buck Anderson moved to third.
There you go. That pitch in there for a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hot inside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Again, 2 of those sophomores for the Hawks. Over there now on the left side of the infield.
There's the 3-1 to Jones. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jones hasn't swung yet. 2 pitches have been close. Here's the 3-2. This one he does swing at. Pops it past the backhand attempt to tie Boozer into right field for a leadoff single here in the 5th. He smoked that one and
had some sauce.
Boozer just trying to get that backhand up. He did not have time to get in front of the ball and probably didn't want to, honestly. So Jones is on for the 2nd time this afternoon. He's 2 for 3 now. Here's Tristan Howe, who's reached on an error in the 3rd on a ball that Halter kind of bobbled when Jones was at second base, kind of cutting in front of him. Throw over to first, and Howe ground out to second his first time up.
Yeah, I had a dad share with me that they thought that WT might be nursing, an ailment, but I don't think that's true.
Well,
he looks good out there.
Yeah, now, arm's a little balky. I said it earlier. When he actually warmed up for the PG game a month ago and 2 weeks ago, and did not pitch that day and has not pitched since. He probably will pitch in the playoffs. I think he'll be rested up by then, but
absolutely.
It's given the Leopards a chance to see a bunch of other guys. We kind of talked about that, including the guy on the mound in the last half inning, Dylan Neighbors, who probably would not have gotten many innings. He's become one of 4 different starters that they've used. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back to the wall back here, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Howe. Britton Pipes is on deck. We're playing in the 5th. 2-2 ball game, and the scoreboard's identical. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for each team.
Mr. Browning cheating toward second base there at shortstop.
Breaking ball and a good one. Boy, Halter spun that one back over the plate on Howe, and now it's 1-2.
Buck Anderson playing for the bunt over at third, and there's a massive gap there between third and short.
I think that's off now with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Martin setting up way outside. Pitch comes out there, and it's a little too far outside. That's exactly where Martin wanted it. This was not about we're trying to get a strike on the call. We're trying to get a strike on the swing.
Yep.
They didn't get it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Howe held off. Martin will lock back in this time. Hard hit ball. It's past the shortstop into left field. Jones starts to turn and goes back to second base, and it's back-to-back singles for the Leopards to open up the 5th. And a nice piece of base running by Jones, because if he'd have kept going, he'd have been meat. Of course, Hunter Rose moving back out to center field. I think they moved everybody back around again.
Yeah, Elrod's back over in left, and he got on that ball quickly.
Elrod would have gunned down Jones trying to go to third, and WT had to hustle to get back to the bag. So back-to-back singles. It now gives the Leopards 4 of them in the game. Actually, it should be the 5th, I think.
Pipes leading the team with RBIs at 26 with a man in scoring position.
And he's going to be asked to bunt and watches one go off the plate outside for ball one. We saw Pipes was asked to bunt earlier and couldn't get a bunt down. Infield is in at the corners. And Halter does not like how far Jones is straying off second base. He'll spin around on him. We're tied at 2. Leopards had bases loaded defensively the first and second innings, gave up 1 run in each of those innings. Those may have been a little bit of momentum changes. They've been starting to get runners on now. Later in this game, that one's a called strike, and Pipes looks at the home plate umpire like, you sure? And his reaction was, strike one, young man.
Yeah, not a way to endear yourself generally.
No.
Have you ever seen anyone reverse their call
Never.
after that? Okay,
Never.
I haven't.
No. I've looked at my wife that way, and she didn't reverse her call.
It didn't work at all.
No,
That's probably a more dangerous game than this.
Here's the pitch, and he tried again to bunt. This one way low, not of the strike zone, and Pipes messed up there. That's the one where you get the bat back, and instead he gives away a strike as he came across the plate trying to get out of there, almost bunting for a hit, not bunting for a sacrifice. And now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corner infielders back up, although at third they really don't. Hard hit ball into left, but it's shallow. Coming in is Elrod. He'll grab that chin high as he charges in, and Pipes unhappy with himself. He kind of wasted in that bat that time.
I have changed my chicken fajitas to beef fajitas before, so I've changed my mind.
Oh, you have? Was that somebody else convinced you to change, or you just did that on your own?
It was on my own. I didn't want to share it. My wife likes the chicken.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Stick the other. That's just self-defense.
And Eli Jarvis walking a run scored and a ground out. 0 for 1. Leopards still got a runner at second. W.T. Jones first. Tristan Howe. Fastball high, ball 1. Halter has not thrown very many innings this year. They're trying to do the same thing I think the Leopards are doing with W.T. Get him ready for the playoffs. Walker Wright's gotten the majority of the starts. Another one high on the fastball. Halter's like so many high school pitchers, doesn't necessarily have a dominating anything, but is a guy that throws in spots and changes speeds. And sometimes they're harder. You can say, well, a guy that throws 95s are, well, yeah, that is, but it's straight 95. You can catch up sometimes. This one hit by Jarvis. This is going to be a long run and can't get there. Right fielder couldn't grab it. Jones is going to be held up at third base, and they may get Howe. Oh, luckily for Howe, he got back to the bag. That was all kinds of trouble from the base running perspective because you want to go.
Yep.
But Craig Jones at third held up WT, which means Howe had to stop, and Howe was going hard between second and third and had to change gears and hustle back to the bag. So the bases are loaded with Leopards now. Maddox Moore is the scheduled hitter, and before he gets up, Riley Fincher is making the walk out. And it doesn't look like he's asking for a baseball. It looks like we're just going to have a conversation about what are we doing now with the bases loaded. Do I draw my infield in and try to make a play at the plate, or do I keep them back and try to get a double play and get out of this inning?
You know, we talked earlier that interior infield for the Hawks has been really good at double plays, but now with Halter on the mound, you've got Spencer Browning there at shortstop, and that'll be a little bit of an adjustment there.
And you got Anderson at third. So you got a couple of different parts that have moved. Not to say they're not good ball players, because they certainly are, but you're starters on the mound.
Yeah, exactly. Just not the everyday we've done it a million times guy.
All right. So everybody's finished their conversations. Leopards had theirs on the sideline. The Hawks had theirs on the mound. And here's Maddox Moore, who's 0 for 1. Been hit by a pitch and grounded into a ground out to the shortstop. He's going to ground the first one foul wide of third base for strike 1. Moore's a good runner. He's going to be hard to double off unless he just hits a really hard ball right near the bag at second. He's a guy that can get down the line pretty well. 2-2 game if you're just joining us. It's been everything we hoped for. Leopards
Absolutely.
and Hawks for the second time this year. They got one more date in 2 weeks, back over at PG at Hawk Field. Final game of the regular season for both teams. The Hawks win this, they'll be playing for really not much else. If the Leopards win this, they'll maybe playing for first or second in the district. And apparently Moore was able to hold off as they appealed to first base, and counts 1 ball, 1 strike. Colin Evans is waiting on deck. They can get to him.
Big at bat here for both teams in a tie game.
Moore held off on swinging at that one. And there's what Halter does. Little breaking ball away from Moore, but into the strike zone. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jones at third, Howe at second. This one popped up in the infield. Runner's going to have to stay. Infield fly rule, out number 2. Just a little pop up to the shortstop, and it'll be up to Colin Evans. Boy, where the Leopards gained momentum in the beginning of this game by keeping the bases loaded and only giving up 1 run, if the Hawks can do it here in the 5th, they regain some momentum.
And here's Colin Evans, you talked about early in the season, was up higher in the lineup, kind of went down, but now has been coming on, and this would be a big opportunity for him in this Leopard squad.
He fouls the first pitch out of play, strike 1. He's grounded into a 6-4-3 double play and struck out. So after a 3-for-3 night against Sulphur Springs, he's 0-for-2 here against PG. No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs, bases loaded, 2-2 game. Pitch from Halter, fastball up high, and it's 1-1. Halter just doesn't walk people. That's really not a concern if you're Fincher. Well, he missed 4 times in an at-bat. Here's the 1-1. That one a little bit up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sun starting to become a little bit more of an issue for the left side infielders. Coming down just a little bit. Swing and a miss as he really tied up Evans on a fastball in on the hands. And tried to shorten the swing and just couldn't make contact. Now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It seemed like he kept moving toward the batter.
Here's the 2-2. Hit hard, but right at right field. Couple steps back. And Landon West grabs that in, and that'll end the inning. Well, it's good for you, it's good for me. Bases loaded, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the bases left loaded with Leopards. They have left on 8 through 5 innings. Sound familiar? Same number of the Hawks. We're even at 2, coming back for the 6th in 60 seconds here on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Welcome back. Top of the 6th, Chuck Zach, Jay Davis, Matt Fry. Just hanging out on a Saturday. Watching a little baseball.
A little baseball.
Chase Elrod to lead things off, and how about a smack into right field, but diving down to his knees to make the highlight catch of the day so far is Hagen Power for out number 1. Power, usually the center fielder, moved over to right for today's game to get Zyvan Banks in the lineup, and he delivers. Defensive play out there.
Well, and the wind shifted to start going out to right field. I think earlier in the game that would have told them a little bit more left. So very good defensive play there by Liberty-Eylau.
One away. How about another first pitch swing, and this one right to center field. Colin Evans coming on, and he catches it at the height of the bill of the cap for out number 2, and Ty Boozer's retired. And, well, Dylan Neighbors, you wonder how much longer he can go. You throw a couple of one-pitch outs, and you can go for a while. Here's Brenton Clark now. You can probably forget about one pitch out here. He's been on all 3 times. Single, intentional walk, and walk. Scored the first run of the game. And he comes up with 2 outs in a tie game, top of the 6th. Dylan Neighbors hits him with a fastball in the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
So Clark hoping for a 2-out rally for the Hawks here.
Ground ball just wide of Neighbors. If he's about 2 inches taller or has at least a little more monkey arms, he makes that fielding play. But Clark just singles it quickly past him. And with 2 outs, the Hawks have a base runner, and they've got their 4th hit of the game. And Clark's now on base all 4 times.
Probably why he's your leadoff guy.
Yeah, and going to the University of Arkansas on a baseball scholarship. And may one day be playing in the majors. Jared Halter up now. Halter's been hit by a pitch and flown out twice to center field. First pitch to him inside, and they've adjusted Evans over more into left center, where he had been playing in right center against a couple of guys. With Halter, they move him more into left. Throw over to first, and Clark's back there safely. Clark 4 times to the plate, on base percentage 1,000.
Yeah. And even on the season, he's 1.2.
This one lifted to left. Ivan Banks drifting toward the line. He's got it. 3 flyouts in the inning. Sparkled around 1 single for Brenton Clark. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. 9 left on for the Hawks now through 5.5 innings. We'll come back for the bottom of the 6th. Leopards have the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming to the plate when we return on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Life is busy, and we get it. The State Bank mobile app was designed to make banking more convenient for you. Check account activity, make transfers, pay bills, and manage your debit card in a snap. You can deposit checks from the convenience of your home or wherever life lands you. The State Bank app lets you organize your accounts, manage alerts, and easily email our customer service experts. Now that you have State Bank at your fingertips, you can spend more time doing what's important to you.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
Getting ready for the bottom of 6 here. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Liberty-Eilau's Markham Park. The Leopards bring up the 7, 8, 9 hitters.
A lot of great improvements going on out here.
All right, welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 6th, a 2-2 ball game. This is almost identical to where we were at Pleasant Grove. We were in the bottom of the 6th after a Brenton Clark home run with a 2-2 ball game. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-2. It'll be Gabe Jarvis, Dylan Neighbors, Ivan Banks facing Jared Halter. 3rd pitcher of the afternoon, and there's a leadoff single. One going the other way, and they're going to make Jarvis take a turn and look, but he's not going more than 1 base. And the Leopards get a leadoff man on here in the 6th inning. For a 2nd straight inning, they get a hard-hit leadoff man on. And now it'll be Dylan Neighbors. Neighbors has walked twice. And he gets some last instructions from Zach Fowler. In a 2-2 game, what do you want to put money down about? You're going to ask this man to bunt.
Yeah.
You want odds on that?
I think they want to try to get him there and then maybe give W.T. Jones a chance to get involved in this inning.
Right now, the Hawks, of course, know that as well. Here's the bunt. It'll be Neighbors putting it third base side. Anderson's going to go to first. It's on the money. But Neighbors does his job. Sacrifice bunt. He moves Jarvis to second. And now the Leopards have the go-ahead run in scoring position.
Zyvan Banks, again, you bunt him to third, and if it takes a second to get there, Banks may be on first.
Now Banks coming up now. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the third and struck out back in the fourth. Jared Halter's come on in the fifth. Gave up 4 hits so far in those inning in the third that he's been out there. Jarvis straight a little off the bag. Halter stepped off to keep him close. Here's the pitch. Banks showing bunt in there for a strike. Leopards have had moderate success with the bunt. We just got the Neighbors bunt that was successful. Pipes unable to put a bunt down earlier. That one spins out of the zone low for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, but Leopards still showing bunt with Banks. And, you know, you want to move the guy to third, but Banks has such good speed. If you're the defense, you got to be careful of not dilly-dallying, or you're going to have runners at first and third.
Yeah, that's he very easily could get to first base on a little slow roller.
Missing wide, 2-1. Halter didn't like that call. Kind of the exasperated head drop. 2 balls and 1 strike. W.T. Jones waits on deck. He's had 2 hits his last 2 at-bats. Hawks with a run in the first, a run in the second. Leopards with a run in the second, run in the third. Everything else has been zeros. 3 balls and 1 strike as again Halter just misses outside. Halter's got the undershirt on. The pitching arm's got the long sleeve. The non-pitching arm, the short sleeve. There's the 3-1. Bunted. Back to Halter. His only play is going to be at first, and so Banks gets the man to third base with a back-to-back sacrifice bunt. And here's W.T. Jones with a runner at third. You know, I don't know how much I love that.
Yeah, they're going to walk him, though.
Yep. Jones gets a free pass, and it'll be up to Tristan Howe. So Jones been on 3 times today at the top of the order.
So I think what you were saying, I think you may just let Banks try to hit it there because the difference in second and third.
Well, what it does is this, if nothing else. There's no force out at third. And if you watched Liberty-Eylau and Paris play 10 days ago, there were plenty of outs made on ground balls to third, where the guy just touched the bag from a runner going from second to third, got forced out. That takes that away.
Yeah.
But here's Howe now. Tristan's single, grounded out, and reached on an error. First pitch, off speed, called strike 1. 2-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. 2 runners on for Liberty-Eylau. Jones is at first. Jarvis is at third with the go-ahead run. Off goes Jones. Ball hit wide of the diving attempt by Buck Anderson. Jarvis comes in to score, and the Leopards go on top 3-2. Well, you made the decision to pitch to Howe instead of to Jones, and Howe made you pay for it.
Put a good shot on that one. Anderson just unable to reach up and bring it down, and Leopards now building on some of the momentum.
Ellie leading for the first time this afternoon. Britton Pipes 0 for 3 coming to the plate. Jones is at second. Howe is at first.
If you're a Hawk fan, you're not wanting any crooked letters to get up there on this inning.
Ground ball toward the hole. Backhanded by the shortstop. No play. Bases loaded. Infield single for Pipes. Browning just couldn't do anything with it. It was driving him into left field, and if he had to make a long throw and it's off the mark, a second run would have scored.
Yeah, probably the best option there for Browning, and that ball bouncing took just a little bit long to get there, and like you said, he's running away from.
And Anderson was going for the ball in the hole too, which meant nobody was covering third. The short play would have been to try to get Jones out at third, and nobody was there. So here you go. Bases are loaded for Eli Jarvis. He's walked and scored grounded out and singled. And he hits the first pitch up in the air to center. Rose coming in a few steps. He'll grab it up for the third out. The Leopards get 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave the bases loaded for a second straight inning. Again, sound familiar.
Yep.
But Liberty-Eylau takes a 3-2 lead as we're coming back for the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Browning, Martin, and Rose, the 3, 4, 5 hitters, to face Dylan Neighbors back in 60 seconds here on News Talk 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, or maybe a new or pre-owned boat or RV, care for a car wash, had a fender bender, or you need service on your vehicle, boat, or RV, we have it all when you let us exceed your expectations at Greg Orr Auto, Marine, and RV in Shreveport, Texarkana, and Ashdown. Shop hassle-free and always be treated like family while choosing from our sensational selection. In Shreveport, visit Orr Acura, or BMW, or Cadillac, or Infiniti, and the Greg Orr Pre-Owned Supercenter. In Texarkana, Mercedes-Benz of Texarkana, Classic Buick GMC, Classic Cadillac, Classic Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Classic Kia, Classic Mazda, Classic Pre-Owned, The Classic Car Wash, Greg Orr Marine and RV, Greg Orr Collision, and Classic Chevrolet in Ashdown. Or visit Greg Orr Auto.
Do or die inning here for the Hawks.
All right, welcome back. Top of the 7th, Spencer Browning. How about starting off hard hit ball, but right at Zyvan Banks for the first out of the inning, as Dylan Neighbors staying on the mound working his 5th inning worth of work. And he'll face Cade Martin now. Martin is officially 0 for 2. He reached on an error on a ball dropped in center field, got hit by a pitch, and then grounded out in the 5th. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Leopards. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Hawks. Here's Neighbors' pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball up in the zone. Neighbors kind of tempting Martin, who looked like he wanted to try to tie it. Wind dying a little bit out in center field. Here's the 0-1, high and inside, and got him. Just tagged him on a breaking ball, and it's the second time Martin's been hit, and a tying run just moved to first base.
Back on that ball by Browning, there have been a few of those today that the Hawks have just hit hard, but right to someone.
Right.
Banks able to get on that one.
And Hunter Rose up now. Rose 0 for 2 with a walk. Hawks need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. Force us to the bottom of the 7th. Well, 1 would force us to the bottom of the 7th. Neighbors out of the stretch. Fastball misses high and away. You wonder if the Hawks are tempted to find more speed on the bases, but they like Martin there, so he stays in. 1 ball, no strikes to Rose. Landon West on deck. Neighbors out of the stretch. Foul out of play behind home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, you wonder if Martin gets over to second base, if then we don't see someone come in for him.
Here's the 1-1. Neighbors. Hard hit, but up in the air. It's going to stay in play. Evans coming in, drifting in, makes the catch, and there's 2 away. He got under it just a little bit, did Rose. And now the Hawks are down to their last out, Landon West. He's walked twice, struck out looking. What about Dylan Neighbors? He came in this game in the 3rd inning. Has not given up but 1 hit only. It's the one Clark hit. Back up the box to second in the last inning, in the 6th inning. And we got a little equipment stuff going on. Zach Fowler coming out.
Yeah, Neighbors kind of shaking his hand around a little bit. I don't know.
He's looking at his thumb.
Yeah, not sure.
He may have blistered up. I don't know, but with 2 outs, that's not what you want to see your pitcher doing. Zach Fowler coming out to the mound now. A couple of umpires joining in this, and now so are 2 more Leopard coaches and their trainer coming out.
Yeah, Greg Fenton coming out there, a longtime Leopard trainer out here.
Well, I don't know. Fowler's still looking. I don't know if the umpire may let him throw a pitch just to see if he's okay. The infield heading back to their spots. And I think Fowler says, just throw one. I want to make sure you can throw a ball right now. And so the umpires wave away Landon West, and Neighbors delivers the pitch and says, I'm fine. So Fowler gets out of the mound. Umpires go back to their spots, and the Hawks will bring Landon West to the plate. And they're going to move Colin Evans way over into right center. Big gap in left center. And big gap down the line. They've really moved all the outfielders over toward right field for West. Here's Neighbors' pitch to him. Inside, ball one. Now, you want drama? Somebody said we want drama. You got drama.
You got some of that.
1 ball, no strikes.
Last game ended 3-2. The Leopards would be content with that same result here.
Fouled back, 1-1. Leopards are going to be back at home on Tuesday. North Lamar comes in here. Sulphur Springs is going to be at Pleasant Grove on Tuesday. So both schools in town Tuesday night, 7 o'clock start times. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cade Martin still at first base. He's the tying run. Neighbors pitch. Fastball by a swinging Landon West, and the Hawks are down to their last strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leopard fans making a little noise. Leopards got swept last year by the Hawks. PG took the district. They got beat in 8 innings a couple of weeks ago. The pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Martin's going to take off and move down to second, and Hawks fortuitous there to get a runner now in scoring position. Leopard's a little lazy on that. A ball that was a breaking ball down in the dirt, which is a high risk anyway. Gets by your catcher, and strike 3 gets a base runner on base.
Yeah, I'm really surprised we're not seeing Christian May come out to run for Martin.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Dylan Neighbors steps off. Gather himself back up again.
Back up and get everybody to talk about it.
Tell you what, a lot of flyouts against Neighbors. The last 5 outs have all been up in the air. 6, actually, if you count the pop out to third base. All have been balls up in the air. Get a conference at the mound.
Yep. Jarvis and Neighbors making sure they're on the same page.
All right, here we go again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Landon West back in there. If he keeps it going, Buck Anderson gets up. And again, Neighbors is not happy as he steps off again. West wants some time to get in. Now he's ready. Here's Neighbors' 2-2 pitch. Fouled out of play, first base side. Boy, everybody kind of, when the ball gets hit up in the air like that, is that the game or is that a hit? We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Neighbors started this game behind the plate after he caught yesterday all game.
Not a comfortable fan on either side, I don't think.
Here's the pitch. Hard hit right at Tristan Howe. Ball game. West slams down his bat and his helmet, and the Leopards take a 3-2 win. A hard hit ball, but right at second baseman Tristan Howe. And Liberty-Eylau moves within a game of Pleasant Grove at the top of the district. Leopards now 19-6-1. Hawks' 14-game winning streak comes to an end. They are 16-8-1. They're 10-1 in district. Leopards now 9-2 in district with 4 games left to play.
Leopard fans won today, and so did baseball fans.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of baseball left in this district play.
I'll tell you what, this was so good. We ought to do this again in 2 weeks.
Well, I think we're going to have an opportunity because it's going to be for everything on the 27th over at Pleasant Grove. And, man, if you're around the Texarkana area, that one will be worth the price of admission for sure.
Yeah. How about Gabe Jarvis today? Came in and got the winning run on a leadoff single in the 6th inning. He finishes with a couple of hits. W.T. Jones, Tristan Howe, both with a couple of hits. On the other side for Pleasant Grove, Brenton Clark.
Yeah.
2 hits, 2 walks. He's on all 4 times. The win's going to go to Dylan Neighbors as he finished 5 innings worth of work, gave up no runs, walked 2, hit 1, walked 3, hit 1, and gave up just 1 hit in those 5 innings worth of work. He gets the win. Jared Halter takes the loss. Last thoughts, gentlemen.
Exactly what we expected. Beautiful day for baseball. I think it's everything you could want if you're a Leopard fan, and maybe just a